Preston, are you okay?
No, my freaking wife's so annoying. I yelled at my kids yesterday, so they're all upset. I just need a nap, man. I'm so freaking exhausted.
Yeah, I get it. Would you like to hear some ideas for that? It sounds like you're really ragey lately.
Not really, but I guess.
Okay, let's get into it.
Hey guys, licensed family nurse practitioner Preston Holofield here. Welcome to the Preston MP channel. I am so excited to share with you guys. I have the fabulous Miss Erin Randol, licensed clinical therapist from Sunrise Therapy here in Southeast Missouri. And today we're talking about a hot topic, guys, mom rage. So Miss Erin, I want to start the conversation off here. When you're in practice, and I imagine you've been practicing for quite a while now. How many years?
Yes, I've had my license for 10 years.
10 years, wow, incredible. So you've seen a lot of people, you've touched a lot of lives. And my first question is, when mothers come in, what do you see as a very common thread in terms of, I should say, the straw that broke the camel's back that got them to finally come in? In primary care, I know a lot of people are like, I don't know about counseling.
Sure.
But what really got them to come in? What is a common thing that you're seeing and treating that really touches a lot of lives?
So I not just work with people, but I specifically work with moms who struggle with mom rage. So when they come to me, they have been raged out. They literally come and say, I am ragey, I often hear like unhinged, I'm irritable, I'm pissy. And it's the straw that broke the camel's back in the way that they weren't that before now. They weren't that person, they're not that person. There's a part of them that is showing up way more frequently than they ever asked for. They didn't ask to be this ragey. So the straw that broke the camel's back is that this isn't what they asked for, and they're basically not gonna take it anymore. And they've tried probably a million ways before they got to my door. They self-talked themselves through it and it didn't work. They said, I'm never gonna act like that again, and it didn't work. And it's not because of user error that they did something wrong, it's because it's not really meant to be figured out all alone all the time. It's meant to be figured out with someone that can kind of, I always say, like, hold your hand step by step through the raginess to get you to be more of an intentional mother, a calm mother, more present mother, which is why they come to me, because they're like, where is that? That's what I had kids to be, is an intentional, calm, loving, fun mom, and I'm not that. And I need help.
Well, I really appreciate that answer, and I can tell right off the bat you are not scared to dive right in and dig into
I love to dive right in.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So my follow-up question, let me ask this. When you say mom rage, let me kind of tie it back to our clinical experience in primary care. When men come in and they're depressed, we think, oh, they're grumpy, they're mad, they're indifferent, they're disengaged. Females, a little bit different. We a lot of times think depression as kind of maybe looking out a window, looking sad on a rainy day, you know, that kind of classic example.
Sure.
And so translating that to rage in counseling, what are the defining factors for females, and how is that different and unique to these postpartum, peripartum females?
Yes, so the very non-clinical way that I describe it is men I call oftentimes like grumpfish. I call them our grumpfish because they are grumpy and they're irritable. And mom rage isn't quite grumpfish. It's more like, I keep saying ragey, but that is what I see. And of course depression can present the way you're describing, but I think one reason it catches moms off guard is because it doesn't present as looking sad out the window all day. It presents as my feet hit the floor, or maybe it presents as before my eyes are even open and my feet haven't even hit the floor yet, I'm at a 4 out of 10 rage. My baseline is a 4, 5, 6 out of 10 on the rage scale. So I'm irritable, I keep saying pissy, but that is a word I hear a lot. Unhinged. Our kid comes and asks for something as simple as like a glass of water if we have a toddler, let's say, and it just is like, ugh, right? It's this like dread, it's this defeat, it's this never-ending burnout. And that is slightly different than I think what depression can look like in men sometimes. and definitely different than what like society knows as depression historically. Looks a lot different.
If you guys have made it this far in the video, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe, and comment down below on more burning questions you would like licensed clinical therapist Miss Erin Randol or myself, licensed family nurse practitioner Preston, to answer right here on the channel. I want to give a big thanks to our friends at Sunrise Therapy for letting us borrow the fabulous Miss Erin Randol. And Miss Erin, if patients are really interested in this content and want to get a hold of you, how can they book a consultation?
The best way, the quickest, fastest way is to call or even text. Our work phone does both, 573-299-0190.
Fabulous. Easy enough.
Easy. It's easy.
Love it. Well, let's get back to the video. Fabulous. Well, I love these questions, and we've got so much good content, and I really want to ask you this, because my mind goes to these patients that come in that will come into our primary care clinic, and they're almost like a little anxious and scared to tell me that like, hey, I may have WebMD'd this, and I think I have 13 different types of cancers. And a lot of times it's a little disarming to them that I tell them that looking things up is not necessarily a bad thing. I actually support that. I actually promote patients being educated and looking into things and coming with questions. Now, you gotta be careful. You don't want to catastrophize and you don't want to self-diagnose. So there's a fine line there. But where that brings me is individuals that come in for counseling with 10 years of experience, I know there's got to be some outliers there somewhere. And what I want to ask is, what are some cases where an individual came in and maybe that straw that broke the camel's back, the symptoms weren't quite what met the eye, and maybe you were kind of going down a rabbit hole and ended up having to pivot a little bit that really kind of surprised you?
Yes, so this has a lot of different answers, but if I could niche it down for us today, it would be a lot of the clients that I see are very on top of their game, for lack of a better word. They know when the baby was last fed, they know every diaper change, they've got an app for that. They're tracking things. They're right. So when you think depression, you usually think like lack of motivation, which is all still true. But a lot of times the clients that I see specifically that are postpartum, perinatal, mom ragey, they have the grocery order done. They have the birthday present for next weekend bought already, right? So if you were to look that up, you'd think they're functional. They're doing great, right? If you were to type that into ChatGPT, they'd be like, way to go. But when they come to me, they're also, for lack of a better word, like kind of dying inside. They feel terrified that something bad is gonna happen to their baby. They feel complete rage and resentment towards their husband, even if they can still notice that their husband is trying, he just doesn't do it right, or whatever it might be. So it's very confusing and conflicting right out of the gate. And I think what I would say is kind of an outlier is that when we start digging through this person that has all their ducks in a row, but also so ragey, and we just kind of, I always say I ask nosy questions. So when I start to ask nosy questions in the therapy room, like, okay, can you kind of tell me the first time that you remember feeling out of control, like in life? It takes us way back, like young age. Honestly, if I'm gonna get really niche right now, usually between age 8 and 12, they have a memory of when they felt out of control. And some part of them somewhere decided they will never feel like that again. So when they do, they feel like their system is failing them. And I don't think that ChatGPT or WebMD could really tell them that or tell you what I just said. Because they don't, I don't think the internet knows how to piece all those puzzles together in that way, in the way that it presents for postpartum mom rage. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. I would almost say, and correct me if I'm off here, but it's like, you know, patient has some kind of mass and they want me to tell them right off the bat, okay, what is this? And I may have to say something like, well, until I get that CAT scan back and I'm able to see, you know, I can't really tell you. And then, you know, sometimes it's worse than we thought. Sometimes it's exactly what we thought. Sometimes it's not as bad as what we thought. That's kind of where my mind kind of goes to.
I think that like seeing, like kind of zooming out and looking at the big picture of all the variables that brought us here is a huge part of it.
Last question. It's a really, really good one. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So last question.
Okay.
Counseling. I get all too often in primary care, I don't need to go talk about my feelings and lay on the couch and all the things. Just give me some medicine, fix it. Well, we know in primary care that when we put, mental health medications with counseling, we get this synergistic effect that's far more effective than just medications or this or that. But really, the root of the problem is it's not dad. I can throw the dad, I can throw him this, I can throw him that. But what sort of concrete things can you leave us with on why should a person go to counseling? And what are some things that you could equip somebody like me, a nurse practitioner, maybe a family member that knows they need to go see the fabulous Miss Erin to really get that person nudged in the right direction?
Well, I'm immediately go to Uno reverse it and say, I wouldn't really even look at it as they should or shouldn't go to counseling. I would Uno reverse it right out of the gate and just, we call it like strengths-based. Like, wow, it looks like you really want to get better. Wow, I can tell this is really important to you, right? So you highlight the person's strengths and what they're trying to achieve. They're trying to achieve less mom rage. We're down for that. And so whatever way they choose, we will co-sign for the most part within reason. And oftentimes people can find that inner like strengths-based wisdom through us just gently guiding them and being like, wow, it really sounds like you want to get better. Is it okay if I kind of point you in a direction that I would suggest? Because a lot of times when they're in these positions, mom rage, depression, anxiety, postpartum in general, the big symptom that I see is there's not many moments that they feel empowered in their life at this time. So if we can hand them an olive branch of empowerment while also gently nudging them to do what we also encouraging them to do what the research says is best for them and what we've seen is best for them, which is probably pairing mental health therapies with a medicine if they want to do that, then I would kind of ask the practitioner to go about it that way. And I would use wording like, if I may offer you a suggestion, would it be okay with you if? Here's an idea, can I chew on it with you? Those land really well.
Excellent. Well, I can tell very quickly that you're fabulous at what you do.
Thank you, I love it.
And very therapeutic, very therapeutic. I like it. I'm not bad anymore. I'm just lifted. I'm feeling so much better.
That's the point.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Miss Erin.
Thanks for having me.
And if you guys have made it this far, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below on more things you'd like us to chat about. As always, Modern Medicine with Nursing Heart, Preston MP out.